Hey guys, it's Rachel. I've been super excited to make this kind of explanation for a while since I kind of do a lot for my bullet journal, and my family and friends are always asking me how slash why I do what I do with this system. So I thought it would be kind of fun to explain what I do in my bullet journal and kind of what I get out of it. So yeah, here we go. So this is my table of contents. I used this a lot more in my old one, but now I just kind of log when something starts. Oh, I didn't write that in all caps. That's gonna bug me. It's fine though. More annoying than even that is the fact that this bullet journal started in December. Which is not really the best time to run out of pages in your old notebook, but I like having it in here, I think. I mean, every time I finish a month in my bullet journal, I'm like, oh my gosh, I never want to see this layout again, which led to some changes later on, but yeah. So this was a little like collage I did. I actually went back and did this later because I saw I had this page that I could work with that was empty. This was my December header. Sorry, I'm like looking at the viewfinder because I have to make sure my phone doesn't run out of battery, which it's really prone to do. Not battery, space. I have like 20 minutes worth of video that I have to like shoot and dump and whatever. Okay, so for December, I made this header with a Christmas tree. I didn't really want to go like too hardcore Christmassy because, you know, red and green like aren't my favorite colors. It's not really my aesthetic. So what I have is this quote from the Frozen short, which was really cute and I loved it. And then I kind of drew my own family and just the word December. I don't know. That's me. All my other siblings are gradually getting taller and taller than me, but I'm just this short one in the middle. This is my December calendar. This was the end of my fall semester in school here, so I have a lot of stuff going on there until it gets to be break, and then it's days that look like this again rather than days that look like this, which is what I really prefer to get stuff done. Oh, I never did a header. So this was my gratitude list for December, and I think this was when I still wrote it out day by day, but I've since kind of stopped doing that in case I have a day that takes up 2 lines. And then this was my first day of December, and there's actually like different lettering behind it and like different lines behind it, but I thought it looked so bad that I had to cover it up, even though it's probably fine and I just need to chill. But it's my bullet journal, so I can be as out of control as I want. And then with all these days, I did different like kind of florals or designs or something, and I do like a wreath and some decorations at the bottom that matched, and I really liked it until, well, not yet, until I ran out of designs. Oh, that was my half birthday, so I did like pretty flowers for that. That was my first books to read page, and I had like some more space, but I had to stop it because it was the end of the year and I wanted to like know how many books I read that year, which was 151. So I wanted to start a new one for the new year, and I have some pencil that needs to be erased there. This is probably my favorite from that month. Let's see what's going on. Although I like that one too. And this one. That was like a little too hardcore Christmassy for my taste. But I like the little like evergreen kind of design. yep, here's where I was like, I'm just gonna do the same thing every day. And then I did. But like towards the end of the month, like, God, I didn't even go back and finish those lines. I just got really bored and I like didn't care to do it every day, but I still did because I wanted it to all like look good and match. Oh yeah, and then here's where I got to 2018, and I'm a kind of person that really likes to go like really over the top with these headers, so this was like a really big show of restraint to not like fill the whole page with stuff. And then I rapidly lost that restraint as I came to my mini months page, which I still like really like. I like didn't like how they turned out behind it, so I took paper from a different notebook, and I like how this turned out even better with the pen that I used around the edges before I pasted it in. And the stars in the background. This was my information page, and I still have yet to go back and fill this in because I never think of it when I'm at home and I have my old bullet journal with all this information. And this is my key. This is actually the exact same design as my previous notebook that I really liked, so I just flat out copied it over. Maybe next time I'll like make printouts of it or something so I can just paste it in. I don't know, but these are the like bullet journal symbols that I use. To do, done, migrated, note, event, and then I don't use the scheduled one because like if I schedule something, I just write it down in the schedule. I don't need like a note for it. And then these are the symbols that I came up with for myself. Like inspiration or an idea. This is like a resolution. So if I decide to start something, I'll write it down in that day. This is for bought. I don't use that symbol this much because most of what I buy is books, and I have a book symbol for that. So that's what I use more often. This is for writing to indicate something important, and I like it because it's kind of like a bookmark, but it also looks a little bit like a W. And this is for like accomplishments, and I've thought about having a page for it, but I kind of like to just have it organically so I can see when it happened. This is just, you know, for anything that I like want to remember that like warmed my heart or whatever. That's why it's a heart. I know, it's cheesy. Actually, my brother told me that my last video that I made was really cheesy, so I'm making a concentrated effort to not have my teacher voice on. I'm an education major, so I tend to make a lot of videos for that where I have to be like all like chill and teachery, and that's, you know, probably pretty annoying because most of you guys are like adults, and yeah. This is my happiness page. It probably could have been called a resolutions page, but I don't really like that term. Like those feel like more almost like punishing, like, oh, I want to go to the gym 5 days a week and da-da-da-da-da. But these are things that I'm gonna try to make a conscious effort to do to just improve my life quality. Just things to make me happy. It's called happiness. Yeah, there you go. This was my beginning of January, and wow, I can't even like remember what I did on my January dailies. I guess we'll see. That was my calendar. Again, the pen like really showed through. It got kind of discolored. Oh yeah, this is what I did in January. There's my gratitude list. Every day in January, I did this frame, and then during the day, I'm really like doodly, and I like to like always have my hands moving. So during the day, I would like fill these guys out with these little like gemstone shapes, and they're so easy to do that I could just like mindlessly be drawing while I'm in class or whatever. My professors probably weren't a fan of that, but it helps me focus. So yeah, I just kind of kept going with that, and honestly, oh, more pencil. I really liked it, but you know, it eventually kind of like warped the pages, because you can see how it like kind of like made a indent over this whole thing. And again, it was like the same thing every day, so I got kind of tired of it for that reason too. This was my second books to read, and this took me through January and February, and then after that I changed it, but I can talk about that in a different time. Just checking my camera's still going. More the same. That was a day that I like messed up how I usually write the day, but it's fine. That I can live with. I don't know why. Some things bug me. That wasn't one of them. Okay, so this is where I started trying something new by printing out photos that I found on Pinterest to kind of make it a little more creative and journal-y than just listing stuff out. And I really liked it. And then I wrote like a little message to myself. And then I come to February. There's my annoying ribbons. I don't use them. They drive me crazy. I would cut them off if I didn't think it would wreck the binding. So this was February, and this was actually my first time making a header outside of my journal and kind of pasting it in. The fact that the pens were like dyeing made them really nice to like blend without having to like get it wet or like blend the tips together or whatever. It's my February calendar. I didn't want to do like a February pink Valentine's-y theme, so that's what I did instead. My gratitude page, only 28 days. I could have used more space for that, but it's whatever. This is like a tracker for this blanket I'm knitting. It's huge. I've been working on it for years. I have this many more rows to go because each of these boxes is like knitting 7 of these squares, because that's, yeah, I just don't want to think about it too much. Okay, so this was my first more collage-y type layouts, and I love it. Ever since I started doing this, I haven't turned back. It is so much more fun and creative and like lets me do different stuff each day and change it up and whatever. I just love it. That was my first one. That was my second one. This I really like, and I have these like squares that I just have like a huge box of them, so I can write quotes on them and paste them in individually. I got some new washi tape that day, I think. Oh, and I got new washi tape this day too. These are a couple little illustrations I did. This is my sister because this day was her half birthday, so I put her and me in there. This was just a little drawing I did with like, it's all like raindroppy and springy because I was just really, really cold that day and I was really wanting spring to come, which it has now, so. This was when it got really warm out, so, you know, I have like the butterflies and kind of a warmer photo, and then another one, which I still think this is just such a pretty page, which is good because that was Valentine's Day. What's going on here? This was my first time like branching out color-wise. I used a lot of the same washi tapes over and over again, and this was my first time like trying something different. I think it was low-key because I was like, no, I'm not gonna make my February pink, and then after it was Valentine's Day I was like, okay, fine, I'll put some pink in there. This is my first time like not separating my journal and tasks by different headers and just kind of letting it be more organic, which I think it turned out pretty nice. This was a day that I went to children's literature conference at a different college during the weekend, and I went with my mom, and it was super fun and I learned so much, so I'm just like writing all over the place, and I have more writing other places too. And then we had photos with my skating team that day, so I printed those out to put in there because look at all those lovely ladies. And then that's me with my hair like out of control in the wind. It looks like I have like red hair even though I don't, but I just thought it was such a cool picture that I kept it. Okay, back to the blues. I'm really a fan of doing this where I cut my washi tapes to look like ribbon. This was part of this day where I was trying to print things and my printer at home wasn't working and I like wanted to throw it out the window, but I didn't. Things like weren't printing out all the way, so I had all these like bits and pieces of photos that like weren't printing. So I tried to find like ways to use them, which actually led to one of my favorite spreads, which was this one, where I wrote my titles on them. It turned out so pretty. I don't usually like having like this shine effect on letters because like I don't want it to look like an like squiggly eel that's like all round and shiny, and I don't know, it's weird, but I think here it really helped like define it and make it pop. Friday we had a snowstorm, so snow. Saturday I wanted to put this like atmospheric like ballroom photo in there, and it turned out really pretty. There's another like washi ribbon. Yes, this was another good one. I think it was snowing again. Oh yeah, that was the day that I like waded into a snowbank and sank up to my thighs, and I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting it to be this deep. And it got really cold, but it was like beautiful, so I wasn't too cut up about it. That was the end of my February. And then I did this March spread. But yeah, let me know if you liked what you see or if it gave you any ideas. Thanks for letting me talk at you, I guess.